Welcome everyone. So I'm Paula and I'm going to talk a bit how to keep your gut healthy with a vegan diet. So as a scientist, I'm going to talk a bit about science first. So just to tell you my background, I work at the Dairyford Research Facility. So it's this building here. We are just behind Dairyford Hospital in Plymouth. So we work a lot with patient care, with patient samples. We have a lot of different research groups. We have research groups that research brain tumor, vaccines, new drugs, antibiotic resistance. I'm part of the liver research group. So I'm part of the hepatology research group. So I'm a PhD there, or I'm a scientist there. And we study mainly liver disease. So fatty liver, alcohol-related liver disease, hepatitis C, cancer. And then why the hell are you talking about guts today? So when I started my PhD and started researching about the liver, we realized there's no way to study the liver without also studying the gut. As you can see, the liver is directly connected to the gut via the portal vein. So everything that happens in the gut will reflect of what happens in the liver. So in our lab, we work with a lot of different models to study gut diseases. Only with humans, we don't use animals. We are against animal research. Well, I am. So we take gut cells from patients, and we can grow these cells in different models. So we have 2D models where we put the gut cells to grow. 3D models, we make little balls in the cells and see how they react. And we also have the organs on chips. So that is a very interesting model where we can have gut cells, and then on top have liver cells and see how those cells interact. I'm going to bore you a bit with research, but it will get better. I swear it will get better. So a lot of people think the gut is just the intestine, but actually the gut is considered our entire digestive system. So it goes from your mouth all the way to your bum. And I'm going to focus more on the large intestine today, because that's the part that I study, and that's all where your gut microbiome is. But we have also the small intestine where mainly the absorption is, and of course mouth and the food pipe. So our gut has more than around 100 trillion bacteria living inside, and we have the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. And to have a balance is the most important thing. The main problem we have today in the recent world is that we want a gut that looks like this with a lot of different bacteria. We want diversity. So we have a problem that's called gut dysbiosis, where you lose the diversity and you only have few types of bacteria there. And that's what causes a lot of diseases. I swear the science part will be done soon. So the problem with the gut is that we can have leaky gut. So as you can see here, we have the epithelial cells in the gut, so they are all tight and looking nice if you have a healthy gut. Once you have gut dysbiosis, that means you lose the diversity of your bacteria, you have the leaky gut. So your cells will separate, and as you can see here is the blood vessels. So bacteria and bad things will go through it and we will go into your blood. So if you have a gut problem, this will go all over your body. You can have liver problem, kidney problem. It's not just about the gut, it goes everywhere. So here are just some examples of diseases that you can have if you have gut dysbiosis or unbalance in your gut bacteria. So you can cause heart disease, and this is all scientifically proven. I'm not just making this up. You can have heart disease, obesity, type 2 diabetes, muscle problems, arthritis, even thyroid problems, and also brain issues, and nervous issues, so Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's, depression and anxiety. How the hell is the gut related to depression? That's crazy, right? But no, actually not. Our gut is considered our second brain, and not a lot of people know that. So the gut produces a lot of neurochemicals that will regulate your mood and cognition. 95% of the serotonin, which is the happy hormone, is produced by our gut bacteria. So if you have a problem in your gut, you could suffer from anxiety and depression. So like your gut is super important. It's good that a lot of studies, recent years we've seen research like the gut now we see that is a really important player, and more studies are focusing on the gut, in the gut. And a lot of studies already are comparing what a vegan diet does to gut. So we have comparing vegetarian and omnivore diets. So we have a lot of studies already published in different journals. So what studies show is that a vegan diet is the optimal diet for your gut health. We want diversity, we want really all kinds of different bacteria, and vegan diet really increase bacteria diversity. And a vegan diet increases the good bacteria and decreases the bad bacteria in your gut. So that's really what we want to prevent all those diseases that I was talking about. Okay, so the research part, the scientific part is done. So now what not to eat or drink. So the main four things we should avoid: sugar, alcohol, fried food, and processed food. And we know that that's bad for you anyways, but like with sugar, we know the obvious like really sugary drinks or sugary foods, but there's a lot of hidden sugars that we need to be careful with. Like tomato sauce, ketchup, barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce is super high in sugar, unless you buy a specific one. So that's the main problem. Like a lot of people think they have a low sugar diet, but hidden sugars are everywhere. So if you have the time to read the labels and see how much sugar is in stuff you're buying, that's really helpful. Salad dressings can be really, really high in sugar. Baked beans, bread can vary a lot. So I always go to the supermarket and read the label, like how many grams of sugar has this bread or this bread, because some breads are really, really high in sugar and some are lower. So just try to make, smart decisions. And sourdough bread is usually really good. But yeah, sugar is hidden everywhere. We need to be careful. Alcohol, I love drinking. I love drinking a glass of wine. So it's about making like better decisions. As you can see, alcohol of course has a lot of sugar and also will turn into sugar in your body. So if you choose for a beer or a glass of wine, it's much better, for example, than cider, gin and tonic. Gin and tonic can go up to 20 grams of sugar, and that's super high. Cocktails are usually very high in sugar because they use juice and syrups. And I don't think people here drink a lot of port, but port is insane. Like one serve can have 100 grams of sugar. That's like half a cup of sugar. That's so much. So it's not about like let's all quit alcohol. No, let's drink. But maybe a light beer or a glass of red wine is better for your gut than other stuff. Okay, so this is what to avoid: fried food and processed food also. So what you should drink or eat. The most important thing for your gut is definitely fiber. And if I could choose one food that you should eat every day, is definitely oats. Oats are great. They have insoluble fiber, which is really good for you. They keep you full for longer. And yeah, so also legumes like beans, lentils, they are very, very good because they are high in fiber. They can be a bit difficult to digest, so soaking them overnight is always a good option, and even sprouting them is even better. Nuts are really good. They have fiber and they have special like good fats for you, not like eating 200 grams of peanuts every day, but a small portion is really helpful for your gut. And all kinds of different grains like quinoa, buckwheat, bulgur, they are also high in fiber and will make your gut very happy. So we talk a lot about probiotic foods, but I don't think we talk enough about prebiotic foods. So the difference is that probiotic foods already have the good bacteria in the food. Prebiotic foods have special fibers that will feed the good bacteria. So it comes first. And they might be easier to implement in your diet than probiotic. Like, I don't want to eat kimchi every day. So prebiotic foods, some examples here, but there are way more. Garlic, easy to add to your diet. Banana, really great. They have a special kind of fiber that is really good for your bacteria. So if you eat oats and banana, awesome. leeks, asparagus, ginger, and cocoa powder is very good. So they all have inulin, which is a specific fiber that feeds the good bacteria in your gut. And of course, then probiotic foods, which are mainly like fermented foods. So kimchi, miso paste, apple cider vinegar. Raw apple cider vinegar is really, really good. They say you should drink a shot of apple cider vinegar every day, but nah, I don't want to do that. So that's just salad and it's fine. And pickle foods also, so you can make your own pickle food at home. It's actually really easy and they last for a long time, so you can pickle all different vegetables like beetroot, carrots. But yeah, pickles are great. And if you find that it's difficult to implement this in your daily life, you can take probiotics. And probiotics are really, really good. Like a lot of research already shows that taking probiotics prevents a lot of diseases. So, of course, make sure they are vegan and don't have gelatin. If you buy probiotic, try to buy the one that has like a lot of different strains of bacteria. So you can find with like 5, with 10, but if you can buy like with 30 different strains is the best. We want diversity, so the more different bacteria is the best. And of course, drink water. So the fiber actually sucks the water out of our gut. So if you eat a high fiber diet but don't drink water, you're going to have the reverse effects. You're going to be constipated. So you need to drink a lot of water for the fiber to work well in your gut. And we also, of course, the average we say 2 liters per person, but it actually can vary a lot. So online they have water calculators that you can check for your weight and height how much you should be drinking of water. Because someone that is 6 foot will need way more water than me. It depends on your height and your weight, because it's mainly how much blood you have in your body. That means how much water you need to drink. So I actually need to drink less than 2 liters a day, and some other people will need to drink more. Of course, 2 liters is the average if you don't want to calculate, but there are water calculators that are very helpful. Some people may need 3 liters of water a day. So, to conclude, definitely go vegan for your gut. As I mentioned, a lot of studies and like peer-reviewed papers. There's a lot of scientific evidence showing that going vegan, a vegan diet is the best for your gut. It's the optimal diet for your gut, because usually it's a diet that is very high in fiber. As you know, animal products like meat has 0 fiber, so really don't eat animal products. So yeah, as I said, vegan diet is the optimal for gut health. As coming back to the second slide, so as I said before, like gut health is not only about your gut. Your gut regulates all of your body. So if you go vegan, you are also preventing heart disease, obesity, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, thyroid problems, Alzheimer's, depression, anxiety. You know, your gut regulates all these diseases, and a vegan diet will help preventing all of this. And as a vegan activist, I cannot finish my talk without saying go vegan for your gut, but also go vegan for the animals. Let's not forget the animals. Every time you buy animal products, you're giving your money and saying, hello, please torture this animal for me. Can you please kill this animal for me? And I will never encourage baby steps. I think if you are an animal abuser, you need to stop right now, because baby animals are tortured and killed because you decide to take baby steps. And yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. And if you have questions, we have plenty of time. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, of course.
How can you become more tolerant to like legumes and things? I just find I don't digest them very well.
Yeah.
If I soak them, I don't digest them well. Is there any way to improve that?
So did you try taking probiotics before?
No.
Yeah, I had the problem of not digesting legumes very well, and then it's usually because your gut is a bit not balanced right. So if you take like probiotics for a month, and then you start eating legumes, it should be fine.
And beans as well?
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
And soaking them overnight for sure.
Yeah, I've tried that. Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah. Probiotics will like balance your diet and balance your gut, and we should all be able to digest. Of course, unless you have an allergy or something, you know. But
I found I was tolerating them really well until I was 3-4 years vegan, and then since then I've found
I had exactly the same. So probiotics really helped me.
Okay.
And then when the gut was working well, then beans were fine. I noticed that like garlic and onion I don't digest well, so maybe it's not, I don't know if you cook beans with garlic and onion, but I noticed that it wasn't the beans itself, but the things I was adding to the beans.
Okay.
So you could try different...
So did you omit onions and garlic?
So I use only powder forms. I noticed that garlic powder or onion powder don't make me feel sick. And I also found out I'm allergic to coriander at some point. So, yeah, you may be allergic, but no, you shouldn't be allergic if you developed after a while. I would say like take probiotics and you should be fine eating them. Yeah.
Thanks.
How long does it take to like restore gut health if you're eating right?
It really depends. So studies show that you could take like up to 3 months. Depends how bad you were eating before, but yeah, it shouldn't take too long. If you take if you think you have a terrible gut health, and if you take probiotics for a month, you should already see a big difference. Yeah.
Do you mind sharing with us what you sort of eat in sort of vegan-wise to keep your good bacteria?
Yeah. So oats. I eat a lot of oats.
That's a bit personal, I know, but
it's alright. So I actually before I went vegan, I had a big thyroid problem. I had hypothyroidism, and after I went vegan, completely healed. Not healed, like I still need to be careful, but I would say like oats and banana for sure.
Sorry?
Oats and banana.
Yeah.
I'll eat like quinoa, rice, beans.
Yeah.
As a Brazilian, we eat beans every single day. And like for dinner, I'll usually eat a salad with some kind of protein. So like, I don't know, like lentil salad.
Lentils.
Yes. So like even from a can is okay. So like, a lot of leaves, green leaves, and then then lentils.
I think a lot of health issues are to do with sort of the additives and colourings and preservatives that are in food. Well, it's the processed food, isn't it? Which is causing big problems.
Yeah.
So, obviously, the more vegan you are, and the longer you stay vegan,
yes, for sure.
You're going to have.
Yes, like it's not like I don't eat processed foods. It's all about like not eating every single day. Of course, a whole foods diet is better, but as I mentioned, like hidden sugars, I was buying like salad dressing, thinking like that's okay, but actually they have loads.
Yeah.
So
I think the success of it also goes with the animal side of things, because I'm an animal supporter. And there's the education with the children as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's their future.
Yeah.
Though as vegans you can still eat a junk diet, and there's a lot of vegan rubbish, I was about to say another word, a lot of vegan rubbish out there, and I think a lot of the time at school, at uni, you're never taught how to eat. You're sort of told certain things, but the rudimentaries of what you're saying about the gut biome, which is probably around for the last 10 years, and the science that neurologists are now tapping into and developed. People need to become educated eaters and understanding. And a lot of the time, even as vegans, you can create this dysbiosis within the gut because people eat and drink at the same time, they snack in between meals.
Yep.
You increase a lot of fermentation when you're snacking because you're not allowing your food to digest. So therefore the life is in the blood and the nutrients that you need. And you create this leaky gut, as you pointed out. You know, a lot of people don't realise that the gut takes 4 to 6 hours to empty. If you start eating in between meals, you're prolonging that. So the gut is never emptying. It doesn't matter how much good food you put in it, you will still potentially cause yourself issues. So it's understanding that you need to hydrate before you eat. Give it half an hour, because that's what time it takes to get through. Give yourself a couple of hours afterwards. And then you drink water in between meals. And then if you're going to have a juice, give it 4 to 6 hours afterwards. But I slipped back into habits. I used to work over in America. I got taught by gastroenterologists and neurologists. That's where I got a lot of my information from. And it's understanding how your digestive system works first, then introducing foods, understanding that certain fruits and vegetables will not be compatible because the digestive process takes a lot longer to eat. So I think as vegans, it's great to be vegan, but be an educated eater and understand, like you say, the gut is profound in and of itself, 100,000 plus bacteria within the gut. And then understanding what you're feeding that gut will affect the mental health, as you quite pointed out. But I think folks need to understand about eating and drinking, mixing foods. If you really,
did you find that out, that information?
I've been very fortunate to have studied at certain institutions where I personally studied certain awareness.
It's fascinating, isn't it? Eat certain things together and to drink it, you know.
It's understanding those things, but anyway, I'm just trying to pull that
we see that a lot of people don't drink enough water and our brain gets confused. So the same part of the brain that sends the signals that you're hungry is the same one that if you're thirsty. So a lot of times you think you're hungry, but actually you just need to drink water. You're not drinking enough water. And of course we had a problem, like I work in a hospital and pharmaceutical companies, they don't want you to eat well. They want you to give you drugs. So if you go to a doctor, a lot of times they will give you the wrong information, unfortunately.
Have you ever come across the anti-inflammatory protocol diet?
No.
I
mean, I know about anti-inflammatory foods, but I don't know about anti-inflammatory.
It's one to look at along with gut health. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder, but I cannot see how it can work for vegan because they cut out a lot of the fibre you were talking about. So they get rid of the oats, the beans, the lentils, and it's just, looking at it, I was left with.
I'll share a series. I actually have a series. I'm happy to share my logging details with folks. This is a series of documentaries. It's some of the most leading, cutting edge. David Palmenter, a lot of functional medicine specialists. Generally, I'll happily share my logging details with a lot of you guys. It's called the Food Revolution Network. Some of you guys would have heard of this. John Robbins, Tony Robbins, and these guys are doing these docu-series where they're talking about the inflammatory diets, and you don't have to cut out certain foods. You may be intolerant, but there is a lot of research coming out in its droves now where the inflammatory foods or anti-inflammatory diets, so I'll happily share this with you. Take a lot of detail.
So why do they say you have to cut like this fiber foods?
They're saying it increases the inflammatory system or aggravating it. So it's, but it just seems so extreme. And basically, they're saying eat meat and fish.
Sounds great.
So they've cut out. You can't even use meat replacements because they've cut out soya. And it's just, I was just wondering if because looking at it, it was just like this isn't.
Who funds it?
Into that, but it's horribly pharmaceutical.
So if you see I read a lot of papers and we see this paper like dairy is great for you, and then you see who funds this research and it's Danone and dairy industry. Dairy is definitely very inflammatory. You had a question or no?
Yeah, so I have IBS, but no one really talked about gut health. So I was just wondering if you've got any tips for people with IBS and gut health in general?
Yeah. So I think, IBS is complicated. It's still very important to keep your gut balance and being vegan. I think with IBS you struggle to digest legumes, or yeah. So I think if you keep with grains should be fine. Let me go back to the. So if you skip these ones, but if you still eat a lot of grains and nuts and oats, would be good. Definitely, alcohol is really bad for IBS.
Yeah.
I don't think you drink, right?
No.
No. And the prebiotic foods I think would be good, but definitely grains like quinoa, buckwheat, bulgur. It's always, of course, good to try diverse foods. I don't know if I answered.
That's good. Yes, ideal.
Question. But legumes can be harder for some people to digest. So if you keep eating the rest of the things, you should be fine.
Does something happen within the gut after several years of veganism? I just wonder because it's often the case that I find with people, they're vegan for 7 years, 5 years, and then they seem to have an issue with their gut, and then they end up going back to eating dairy or animal products. And I just wondered if there was I've known this to happen several times, and I just wondered if there was maybe a detox element or something going on, or is it just in individual cases that...
After many years, shouldn't. If you just turn vegan, there is the detox response for sure that you have issues.
Is that quite quick though?
Yeah. Should be quite. But if you've been vegan for 5 years, it will be hard that only if you're not eating the right foods. It should only increase your gut health if you're eating the right food. I found that I was eating too many beans and legumes, so I didn't digest them very well. And then taking probiotics really helped. So, but the detox is quite fast. It shouldn't be after 5 years going. I think, yeah. I mean, if you eat dairy and you think, oh my God, really improved, I don't think so.
Yeah, I wonder if people just use it as an excuse to go back to vegan.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't have. After 5 years being vegan, it should only be better, not really. No. Dairy is the worst for your gut. It's really inflammatory. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, so thank you very much, and I'll be in the Beagle stall. Please sign the petition. Thank you.